All fired up. We're back. Another episode, another week. Got my crew with me. As always, my favorite American Ninja Warrior, Jordan the Fox. Next to him, LA's finest. Even though Jordan's been hanging out in LA, I feel like more than this guy. But Jonathan Guerrero, welcome back to the show.
What's up?
And as always, it looks like he's back in his garage again, which is his real office. When the walls are black, you know, Clax is wearing black shirt, black walls, Yankee logo, and a toothpick. Going down today, bro. There's going to be a killer Clack attack. Just wait. Mr. Joe Clack.
Hey, boo.
Oh, man. It's been a little craziness going on since last time we were here. Was it Thursday, I think, was our last episode, and now we're here Monday. NCAA football is really starting to gear up the talk of not having a season. And I've been saying it from day one, they're not going to have a season. The NFL, if they do have a season, either one of them, it has to be in the spring. They're definitely not going to be able to do it now. What I'm realizing is it's obviously all about money. The players are putting together like different coalitions where there's a group of players that are saying we have to know what our restrictions are going to be, what everything's going to be for money down the road, this, that, or we're not going to play. And then you've got other people on the other side led by famous head coaches, you know, Harbaugh, Saban. You got Trevor Lawrence all saying, let us play, let us play. And to me, it's the most unsafe game to play. I don't foresee it happening. Jordan will kind of get into a little bit more here, but I know there's conferences that are already dipping out. And I'm thinking in the next 48 hours, we're going to have a lot more news on this. But Jordan, what do you think about this?
Well, it depends on what mind you're using when we're talking about football. If you're using a logical mind, you clearly don't have a helmet on or you're retired and you're far removed from the game. If you're having a football mindset, risk come every play. What else is new? It's honestly the same type of mentality. Let's get it going. The MAC has opted out. Big Ten's considering opting out. The Ivy League opted out. January?
Yeah, they're like, nah, we don't do this.
Right. So my prediction, though, is if there's anybody who's going to play, it's the SEC. ACC will be behind them. But if anything, SEC can afford a bubble above all, and I think they should consider it, honestly. I think they can put off.
But, Jordan, how do you have a bubble? Don't these kids have to go to school? Aren't they student athletes? So are they just going to, like, not go to class?
Yeah, just like spring session. They didn't go to class. They worked online. So if you just work online, as you did, you know, the previous semester, you could actually do it. You know, obviously the standard 4 tests a week, just like the NBA does it. And, you know, obviously the East and the West.
Why haven't they gone to this sooner, like, for college sports? Why haven't they said always, like, just do online schooling and you guys could travel every week and you could do this? Like, how did that all of a sudden – is that a realistic option? Because aren't all the other kids in the same colleges, like Auburn, Alabama, all those schools down there? I mean, the other kids are expected to come to class, but the football players, they're going to finally make it pretty obvious that they don't have to go to class now. And they'll do online learning.
Yes.
Clax, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So they're talking about the decision makers, because everyone's hearing from the players. We're all hearing from the coaches. Those guys don't make a difference, and they don't have a say in any of this. It's school presidents and athletic directors that are going to be the ones that are really behind these decisions. Do you know who's advising these people? They're saying it's some medical advisors, but mostly lawyers. Lawyers are the ones who are advising these schools what to do, because they're saying, worst case scenario, one of our players drops dead in the next 3 months. What do we do?
What?
That's
what?
That's what it is right now. That's one of the big holdups. It's not because they don't want to make money and they're really afraid of getting sick. They're afraid of getting massive lawsuits if the whole team, something really bad happens. What's your thoughts on that? That the lawyers are the ones that are up there making
this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my thought on it. That's my thought on it. You know,
John,
Jordan.
Is there a chance they're going to play, John? You think there's any chance, or are they all just going to crumble?
There's so much money involved. They're going to really try to make it work.
Yeah.
Money for the schools. And I think the reason why they haven't pushed online learning a lot for colleges is because how are they going to justify tuition rates if students are just online? That's like a whole different other part of, you know, the university issues with going online versus in person. How you justifying your tuition rate when I'm just doing everything that a community college student does. But as far as the sports goes, I don't know. I think it's good that a lot of divisions have backed out, but I still think some are good that rely heavily on the football athletics program for money are going to do as much as they can, which is why they have attorneys.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. So like the big problem with football not happening, say at a school like LSU or a school like Kentucky, even that's not a huge, you know, necessarily a huge football. That's a bad example, Kentucky, but a top 25 school, even Vanderbilt, you know, a school like that. You take away their football program and they don't make money for a year. Next year, there's a good chance there's no swim team. There's a good chance there's no lacrosse team. There's a good chance there's no field hockey team. The chess team's probably gone because this football team makes $250 million and it pays for literally 3/4 of the other sports.
But like Jordan pointed out, right? It's depends on what kind of mindset you're in. Are you in a football mindset? Right? Is the lawyer in a football mindset?
No.
It's the lawyer. No, but like you asked me, it's the lawyer making this decision. The lawyer is thinking from a financial mindset. He's not thinking from a football mindset.
And they're not listening to doctors. They don't care about they know the medical side. You're right. And
No.
lawyers don't care about that.
No, they're thinking about a cash register mindset.
I mean, you hear Nick Saban's quote today? Nick Saban came out and said, "It's safer for my kids to play football than to not play football." And his rationale for this, was when they're playing football, everyone's getting tested. They're all staying in their lane because no one wants to be the one to get everybody else sick. And if they don't play football, they're all just going to go party and not social distance. And I'm like, that's one of the stupidest rationales. You're just calling out how dumb your players are, in my opinion.
This is a lot. No, John.
I was going to say it's also it's unfortunate too. I mean, like Jordan mentioned, the football mindset. What's your mindset if you're a senior that's going to maybe make it to the NFL and you don't get to play your last year of football? Like,
who has the most to lose by having a season? And he's the guy, Trevor Lawrence. He's the biggest winner if there's no season. He's an automatic first overall pick. The guy, he comes back and breaks his leg. Guess what? It wasn't a good thing for him to come back. For him, he's the last person that should be saying, "Let's play."
That's why this is a lot easier if this is in the NFL, right? In college, you're talking about kids' futures. Emphasis on the word kids, right? Trevor Lawrence, easy. He's going into the NFL next year, no doubt. He's an isolated incident, right? What about the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, God forbid?
Juniors and the walk-ons are the ones that are going to
the walk-ons and the juniors.
There are no walk-ons if there's no league. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Thank you.
There you go.
They need The Rock to make that XFL happen as soon as
possible. There you go.
Which is a whole nother story. But yeah, I'm really worried. I think the NFL, the way they're handling it, I mean, they're still talking about we're going to try to limit fans in the stands. Limit fans? You're really at that stage? Like, are you kidding me? Are we not realizing maybe the players on the field are too? I mean, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just nuts to me. It's kind of like that sport of baseball where it's like you can maybe start, but are you really going to finish? And how many teams are going to finish? And is it even fun when half the people start calling out from work? I don't even know where to go. You know what, though? I don't want to talk any more college football right now. We hit our quota for college football right now. It's time. It's time for that time. It's the clack attack time. We're going right into it. We didn't have one last episode, and it's just clack attack time. I mean, the music's playing right now. I hear it. I hear that music.
You hear it too?
There it is. Clack. The floor is yours, my brother.
So, couple of things, right? Couple of things that have me really, really, really upset. First one is the entire Houston Astros organization. And I mentioned this to you guys a couple of days ago. And of course, the whole world's upset about the Houston Astros organization, right? So first of all, is, they cheated. They're a bunch of cheaters. We're all sick of them. They're disgusting. Altuve, blah, 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 right? But this Alex Cintron guy, right? What a bitch. Like
The hitting coach. Let's make that clear. The hitting coach.
the hitting coach. Of all people, the guy starts talking about the guy's mother from the dugout. What kind of a jabroni? And I said jabroni. We all saw this, right?
Yeah. So what ended up happening, Clax? Let's.
Okay, so I want to say his name right. Loreno, right? Loreno gets plunked for the second time.
Third time in the series.
Talking smack, walks to first base, looks over, and the hitting coach is talking shit from the dugout.
Mm-hmm.
The hitting coach.
And did you see the best part when he was walking down the line? The catcher's, walking with him, and the guy goes, "It was a slider." And he looks at him, he goes, "Go like this and make it slide next time."
Now, here's the thing that pisses me off is that Manfred is not going to hand out appropriate suspensions to the Houston Astros.
No.
Again.
What I want to, okay, now I would like to hear all three of you.
This is why I'm bringing this up. I want to hear about the suspensions that they're going to hand out.
But let's run through this first, just so everyone knows what happened in case they didn't see it. Laureano's on first base. He hears him chirping the coach. Then Laureano looks at him like, "Are you talking to me?" And the coach takes 3 steps up and basically fronts him like he wants, and gave him a sign, like, "Come here, what are you going to do?"
Yeah, he did the come here.
He motioned with his hand to come over. What are you going to do? So Laureano threw his helmet down and started charging until this coach right here, that guy, decided to jump in front of him and pull him down. While the hitting coach, Cintron, took 6 steps backwards and just pointed his finger at everything that was happening. So now let's go back to the question of suspensions. Who should get suspended and for how long? John, you are the master of suspensions. I'd like you to go first.
Well, I do want to say, Laureano, the situation, he said his piece as he was walking down the first baseline. The situation was essentially resolved until the coach started chirping. 100%. So I want to say that, first of all. He shouldn't have charged, but I mean, who knows what they said. So something does have to happen in this pandemic situation.
Give me numbers. What do you got for Laureano?
Bench clearing brawl in this, when Joe Kelly got 8 games for not hitting somebody.
Yeah, give me.
This has nothing to do with the Dodgers.
But I'm talking about suspension time. Suspension time for what they did. I think if it's not 8 and under, then it's not enough.
Joey Clax.
For either.
Okay, so that's 8 for Laureano, and who else should get suspended in your opinion?
The coach.
Okay,
I think the coach should be done for the season for that.
Okay, coach done for the season. Laureano 8 games. That's your stance right now?
Yeah.
Mr. Fox, what do you think? I saw you didn't agree with that at all.
No, I'm gonna go Laureano 6, coach 8.
Coach 8, Laureano. So what about you, Clax?
Laureano 6, coach 8, Joe Kelly 16.
Extra.
And we're on for Joe.
And on 16 for Joe. And
did you hear what happened to Joe?
Altuve 2.
For that throw?
Bregman 2.
Joe Kelly's on the injured list, by the way. I don't know why that's so funny, but I think I'm okay with 6 games under normal circumstances. I mean, I'm sorry. No, excuse me. On a normal season, I'd be down for an 8 to 10 game suspension for a guy running off the field and charging a dugout. I could say that in this abbreviated season, I would make it a 6-game suspension. Sounds about right. 5 or 6 games. He had multiple premeditated reasons for doing what he did, and I think that's why it would be a little bit less. One, he got hit 3 times. 2, there was word going around that was payback for them not putting in their pitcher, Mike Fiers, who was the whistleblower for the Astros, who's now on the A's. So they were basically hitting this guy as their best hitter just to send a message to the bullpen guy. I see why he's pissed. Not for nothing, they threw up at his head on 2 of them. You know how I feel about that, John. You can't throw. Hit him over the top of the shoulder. That's about 3 inches higher. It hits him on the side of the face. No good. You can't do that. That pitcher should get a 3 to 4 game suspension minimum. I don't know why no one's mentioned that guy. Absolute intentional hitting of the batter, 3 to 4 games in the season. Hitting coach, I'm good with anywhere from 8 to fucking, oh, there we go, 8 to 20 games. I'm okay with that guy getting. I'm okay with it.
I didn't hear the Mike Fiers part.
Instigator. He's the instigator.
I know Mike Fiers, but I heard that the pitcher that hit him, Bailey, there could have been issue because him and Laureano were traded straight up, and somebody
way better.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned how that was a steal for the A's and like how it was a dumb trade for the Astros. So that could have been.
You don't hit someone towards their head to show a message, and that was it's just Bush League. It's just more. That was just more Astros Bush League. And I told you, they're cheaters. I don't feel the same that you feel about them. But what I don't like is Bush League. And that was Bush League.
You gave less of a suspension time than somebody who didn't hit somebody on their team. Just so you know, I want to make that clear.
Well, someone who intentionally headhunted twice, correct.
But did somebody get hit and did somebody not get hit?
Thank God they didn't get hit. Thank God they didn't get hit.
Yes, it's attempted murder instead of murder. So what? I mean, it's still bad, yes. And that's why the pitcher should get a minimum of 4 to 6 games. He
should get 8 if it's intentional hitting towards the head.
I don't think he was intentionally aiming for the head. It wasn't multiple times. It wasn't like that. But it did go up high, so I see why you got mad. Joey Clax, you got another one?
Yeah, I sure do. And I'm going to go on record really quick to say I am not downplaying the coronavirus and that everyone should wear a mask and bleep Florida. However, Marcus Stroman is a little mincy bitch, okay? A little mincy girl, okay? Marcus Stroman opted out playing for the Mets today. Why? Because he's a little bitch, okay? That's why. That's why. That's why. No. It has everything to do with him being a little bitch, okay? I'm putting my Cartman face on. The guy signs a $12 million contract to play for the Mets, right? Oh, I'm so good. Marcus Stroman, he's so good. He's going to play for the Mets. Awesome. He's so great. Oh, all of a sudden he gets hurt. Now all of a sudden he's supposed to make a start. You telling me if the Mets had the same record as the Rockies and were 11-4 right now, he wouldn't have made that start? He absolutely would have made that start. Now all of a sudden he's supposed to make a prorated $4 million. Now all of a sudden he's not going to make that start. Why? Because his grandmother and his uncle have conditions and could possibly get the coronavirus. He talked it over with them and decided he can't play baseball, and just talked it over with them and decided, you know what, I think that it's better that I opt out. You know what, guy? You're a Major League Baseball player who pitches 60 feet from the batter's box. You could fit 10 people safely in between there. How many starts were you supposed to make that $4 million prorated that you were supposed to make? I'm sorry.
5 starts.
5 starts. I'm sorry. You're a little bitch, dude. I'm sorry, dude. This is unexcusable. This is the reason why we have problems in America. This is why your Mets suck, bro.
I was just gonna say, can I?
Why your Mets suck,
It's a
bro.
Mets topic. I have to.
Hey, John. This is why the Mets suck, bro.
I'd like to back up what Clack says. This is why the Mets suck. This is why the Mets suck.
Inexcusable. This is why Manfred sucks. This is why the Mets suck. Marcus Stroman, you're a little bitch. I am very upset about it.
Marcus Stroman, your first strike against you is you're from Long Island. I let that go. The second strike against you is
and again, I'm not
Canada for years, and you were Canadian.
I'm not downplaying the virus, but you're a professional baseball player.
Like, you brought up the record, and I think that's a very big deal because Yoenis Cespedes is not on the Mets. He's shopping at Roosevelt Field right now. And the reason why he's shopping at Roosevelt Field Mall right now is because he doesn't care about playing for Mets. He left because of COVID, just like Marcus Stroman left because of COVID. But it's ironic. They both have their own reasons. Marcus Stroman.
No, let's be real. This is not about Corona for either of those guys. How many starts did he need to get before he got his money?
Who?
Stroman? You said he had to have 5 starts?
No. He was only going to start 5 times the whole year with the amount of games left. No, he got his money guaranteed no matter what.
And so, but what I was kind of leading, I didn't know if that was something that he had to have so many starts, but he did a service time.
Cespedes had to have X amount of at-bats, and they kept benching him. And when they benched him, he's like, you're benching me so I don't get my at-bats and get my extra $5 million. And that's why he walked out. When he saw his name not in the lineup the next morning, he's like, I'm out. And he didn't even show up. Stroman did a simulated 5-inning start 2 days ago. I don't understand this at all.
But technically, didn't he get his service time so he could not play anymore and get his money?
Everyone gets their service time this year. That's the rules the MLBPA put in. Yeah, he's a free agent now after this year. He came to us for a half a year, and he decided.
So he has his service time. He doesn't have to play, and he gets paid. I mean, teams do it to players all the time, messing with their service time.
But why did he do it? Why did he do it now? Like when he's about to get he milked it while he didn't have to, and then he's about to join the team. Never mind.
Well, it's definitely because what Clack said. It's the record. And why continue risking my health?
COVID is the reason. I don't like that. It's too serious. You can't use that as the reason. Not when it's doing what it's doing. It's just disrespectful to other people and humanity, in my opinion. And it's going to make everyone look bad, and it's going to make people not take it seriously because of these morons using it as an excuse.
Yeah, but I mean, he should be like, I'm looking out for myself. And be honest, be like, I'm looking out for me, just like the MLB owners always look out for themselves.
He's a fibber.
Yeah,
he's a fibber.
I don't like these fibbers. I really don't. I don't like fibbers. Let's talk a little baseball here. First place Marlins. I don't know how that works, but they've got an interesting guy, Eddie Alvarez. They've got a lineup of players. I don't know who any of them are. 18 of them were in AA last year to start the season and end the season. But they got Eddie Alvarez. He's an Olympic silver medalist in speed skating. That's what they've come down to. They're finding speed skaters to play the outfield for them on the Marlins. And they're winning games in the NL East.
It's like bringing in the water boy, Bobby Boucher, to just come in and start winning games.
I don't get it. I mean, the Braves have some injuries. I get it. The Mets are what we talked about. The Phillies, I don't know what they are in that division, to be honest. I mean, I feel like they can be good, maybe. They could have a run in them, but the Marlins, if we go by win percentage, are they going to be a playoff team? What is
For right now, they are. It's insane.
Clax, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So one of your favorite players in the league made a bonehead play again. Good old Hunter Pence. Johnny Cueto had a no-hitter. And Hunter Pence looked up into the lights. And there was no more no-hitter.
Yeah. Dude, Hunter Pence brings 13 items into the express lane at the grocery store. I have such strong feelings about this. Dude, what inning was that? The 6th inning?
The 6th, yeah.
It was, oh my God, it was a no-hitter. He was playing the Dodgers, dude. He wasn't going to have a complete game, dude. It wasn't going to be this no-hitter. It wasn't going to be this miraculous thing, dude. It was going to get broken up anyway. I'm over it, dude. Hunter Pence did him a favor. Johnny Cueto is not the Johnny Cueto of old. It wasn't this miraculous thing like Hunter Pence did the world.
I heard that Hunter Pence whispers sorry when he catches a fly ball.
Like Clack says, it likely he wasn't going to have a no-hitter anyways, but the fact that it happened that way was the best possible way to break up a no-hitter.
Yes, I'm very happy that it happened that way.
Jordan, are you aware that Superman wears Hunter Pence underwear?
No.
Yeah. Hunter Pence is a star. You don't even know. Hunter Pence, man, oh my gosh. You know Hunter Pence can't even shuffle playing cards? I mean, there's so many things about Hunter Pence you can learn. Hunter Pence is a legend. The signs that people make about him are just unbelievable.
Hunter Pence still uses MySpace.
I'm telling you, they get better and better and better. Hunter Pence all day. You know where the hottest hitters also in California is that I think for some reason, I'm sure on the East Coast, nobody talks about him. Fernando Tatis Jr. Oh, my Lord. 4 days in a row, 4 home runs. I mean, I know Machado is the big signing over there, but, dude, Tatis Jr. is the real deal.
This guy's insane. And I know watching the standings in the MLB right now is a joke anyways, but getting to see the Padres play us more and watching other games, they're not as good as their record indicates. And we're playing them for like the next 3 or 4 days. And I think it could be a split. I think they could win more. I mean, they're really hot right now, especially that dude.
Yeah, he's an MVP candidate. We kind of talked about him a little bit at the beginning, but I don't think anyone saw. I mean, but his stats last year, that's the whole thing. Like, he came out last year and he played in like 88 games, and he had like 23 home runs and like 24 stolen bases. Like, that's pretty good. And then he got hurt, and that was it. They shut him down for the season. But I think the Padres are a sleeper team. They've got young pitching. They're like 1 or 2 pitchers away from really – I think they can make some moves in the West. The Diamondbacks look like garbage. Bumgarner just went on the DL. His fastball was topping out at 88. Do you guys?
I thought it was more generous than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was 86.
Maybe that's the average, but it was topping out at 88. And do you know that the easiest pitch in fastball has been proven to hit is an 88-mile-per-hour fastball? Not 84, not 92. 88. If he threw softer, it might be better for him at this point. But Robbie Ray looks like garbage. That whole team just kind of fell apart quick. Now you got the Rockies looking amazing. Still, Freeland pitching out of his mind. Arenado, Story, the whole crew over there still doing their thing. And then, of course, you got the Dodgers. The Giants are going to be garbage. I don't think anyone's really talking about them for the next couple of years probably. But that's going to be a pretty tough division, I think, in the next couple of years. The Dodgers are just going to be at the top most likely, but they're going to have some competition finally.
Watching a lot of the young guys on the Giants these last few games, I think they in the next couple of years, I think they could be pretty dangerous coming up.
You think Gabe Kapler's doing well over there as a manager?
I think he's doing well for right now.
Because he's garbage with the Phillies. I'm not going to lie.
I know. I think whatever the front office was doing up there, they knew that he was perfect for this role where they're at right now. Kind of a lose-lose no matter what. But, I mean, they did pretty well against us. They split games with us. So they're doing something okay, or we're either playing down, which I don't want to disrespect them that much. I think they have some good up-and-coming people that'll develop in the next few years. And I think, the division's going to be crazy minus the Diamondbacks.
What do you think, Jordan? You think I know you want to talk out in the West. You just want to get that AL West talk with your Mariners going on. The Angels are looking like garbage again out there. Texas Rangers or whatever. That division is kind of wide open if you think about it. There's really not much going on. Seattle, they've got these young guys that are slowly coming up. Dunn, if he could get it together, I mean, he could be a nice young stud pitcher. Kalenic's going to come up at some point and just depress me as a Met fan, knowing that we drafted him in the first round. I don't know. I think the AL West right now is a weak division, but I think they have potential in the next couple of years to be really, really, really good.
You know, my thing is, honestly, that junior guy you mentioned, I don't want to say his name because we don't really acknowledge him, given we have Kyle Lewis. He's doing great. I mean, homers are dope and everything, but Kyle Lewis has more hits, better batting average, better on-base percentage, less strikeouts. So
Then Tatis Jr.?
Yeah, I mean, I like my guy. I mean, homers are great, but I like consistency better personally. So,
wow.
I mean, I saw that question. I was like, does he know who Kyle Lewis? Anyways, so.
I mean, Tatis Jr., he's batting .333 with 8 home runs.
That's cute. Yeah.
18 RBIs, 4 stolen bases.
That's not that bad.
Is doing better?
I mean, his batting average is almost as good as the Mariners' record on average.
Oh. Okay. Touché. I mean, if we're talking about individuals or, a whole team, then yeah. But, my man Kyle, he's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud that no one talked about coming into this year. I mean, I'll give you that.
No.
Hey, I got a question. Speaking of young studs, Clax, I'm going to transition this right now. You ready?
All right.
We're going to transition right into basketball right now. We're going to talk about young studs. Luka Doncic.
Yeah, there you go.
He had a 35, 20, and 10 game last week. Then he came out yesterday and put up like 30-something, 19, and 12?
14.
14! Excuse me.
Jesus.
I don't mean to rip him a 2 extra rebounds, but oh my, and that 19th assist, did you see that one? When he bounced it between his legs to another guy, cut into the hole for the game-winning basket. I mean,
he's not human.
He's the real deal. He didn't make the MVP Final Four, though, or Final Three. I thought there should be a Final Four, and he wasn't even in it, which is kind of weird.
How's that possible?
Record.
They're in the playoffs?
Okay, but then let's get more specific. Record.
But where? I like that. Well, what the record compared to what it was the year before? It's a big improvement. And I mean, if they weren't a playoff team, I get it. I mean, what was the? I mean, when Russell Westbrook was having his.
Well, hold on a second. He's counting.
I know he's counting.
There's 7.
7?
Yeah.
3 games out of like the 5 spot, though.
Hold on a second.
2 games out of the 5 spot.
Okay, that's the 5 spot, but we're talking about
Who are the other MVP candidates then? Who are the MVP candidates?
Giannis, and Bron.
Which I'm not hating on any of them 3. They should all be in it too, but there should be 4, is what I'm saying. There should be 4 guys in it. I think those stats are ridiculous he's putting up. If Westbrook was up for MVP in those years with his triple-double stats, this is the same thing.
I mean, it's like you're telling me that because, and I'll buy this for $1, but you're telling me that because the Rockets have a 3-game lead over the Mavericks.
3 games.
That's why Harden would get the nod over.
Harden's got Westbrook with him, and
I'm not talking about my opinion.
No, I'm asking you. No,
they would do it. Yeah,
I'm asking you. Okay.
Yeah. I don't agree, but
that's lame. That's lame.
It is.
Huh.
I agree.
You know what Luka's stats are for the season?
They're disgusting. They're disgusting.
Like, real quick, do you know what his stats are for the season?
What are they?
I do not.
He averages over 29 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
9.5 rebounds. So you round that up, it's 10.
Yeah.
And 9 assists a game.
Wow. So he's almost average.
He's 30,
So he's like
10 and
LeBron.
9. He's 30, 10, and 9. And I believe he even he gets some steals. He's not very good at defense. Don't get me wrong. People get by him all the time. But he pokes the ball away like Harden does. He just sticks his hand in there sometimes and gets lucky. But, yeah, the guy's averaging 29, 9.5, and 9.
Wow.
That is conversation to be in the MVP talk. Is it not? I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should win. In my opinion, he is number 3 at best, number 4 at worst for MVP this year. I don't have him above Giannis. I don't have him above LeBron. Harden, it could be debatable in my opinion. If you said Harden, I'm not going to say you're an idiot. If you said Luka, I'm not going to say you're an idiot either. But 29, 9.5, and 9 is you're in the MVP because that's better than West. I mean, that's like Westbrook numbers at his peak, like more points per game though, and efficiency and leading a team like the Mavericks. Other than Porzingis, who really hasn't even been Porzingis until the bubble, coming back from the injury. Who's on the Mavericks? The other Curry, Finney Smith. Like who is this team? Like, they don't have anybody. Like, that is not a well-built team right now, other than their big 2.
It's Luka and Zingis. That's it.
And you want to talk about best duos in the league? Are they a top 5 duo in the league? Doncic and Porzingis? Can you give me 4 that are better?
Okay, Harden, Westbrook,
AD and LeBron. Okay, we got those 2. You could say Kawhi and Paul George, maybe.
Let's see, Lillard, Skinny Mello. I'm kidding. Let's say Giannis and Middleton. I like that a lot.
I do, but I mean that becomes close with Porzingis.
Who beats Giannis?
Well, no one beats Giannis, but Porzingis could beat Middleton enough that make it close. I stumped the fox for a second. I made him think. I like that. Doesn't happen very often. Not saying that Luka's ever going to be as good as Giannis, which I think he can be. I like the James Harden-Giannis beef personally a lot right now. Clax, I'm sure you could be a fan of that. where Giannis just keeps making fun of him and poking shots about him not passing and him not playing defense. And James Harden's like, bro, you're 7 feet and you dunk. Big deal. Like, I'm 6'4" and I dunk, but I also can put people on skates. And you can't do any of the stuff I do. You don't have skills. You're just big and athletic. And I love that beat because I think that – I would love that to be a finals matchup, Rockets.
Yeah.
Just for that. I don't know, Jordan. What do you think?
Well, let's think about this. James Harden, you know, he perfected the flop. And then Giannis actually literally flops when you push him in a confrontation. So it's actually – they have logical sides.
Wow.
I'm indifferent.
Hold me back.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. So
what about a sleeper team? It's not the Pelicans. Actually,
don't say it.
before we even get into my sleeper team, I got a question to you about why did they bring certain teams into the bubble? Okay? I'm going to start with two teams that are on a completely opposite ends of the spectrum. The Phoenix Suns and the Washington Wizards.
The Wizards, I don't get.
Well, here, I don't get either one because you have
playoff contention. They're not logically out.
Well, you have a team that literally is going undefeated. 6-0 so far, the Phoenix Suns. They could win 2 more and be 8-0. They did everything they could possibly do and still not make the playoffs. Like, why even go? Why have a team that's that far out? If like, they should at least make it expanded so there's more than one play-in game. If a team can go 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. They need a team like the Wizards. They're 0-6. Why were they even invited? Like, why? They weren't going to win. They're just there for money. And I can't stand it. There's Draymond Green getting in trouble talking about the Suns and Booker, how he shouldn't be there and he's tampering. He should get himself out as fast as possible. And that's your boy Draymond Green, Jordan. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, that's just another, residual investment up in, Napa Valley. So it's not that big of a deal, honestly, for him. But at the same time, I mean, that's how they got KD. So, well, what's another seed to plant? I think honestly, what he's really doing is he's distracting everybody. A 15K distraction from Giannis. Let's talk about Booker. Booker. Meanwhile, I'm over here in Milwaukee, talking to Aaron Rodgers, like, hey, what can we do to get Giannis?
He's at Giannis' house making him bacon, egg, and cheeses right now. Is what he's doing. He's like, let's.
I thought it was it 15 or 50? I thought it was 50.
Oh yeah, 5-0. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure the organization would be like, "Hey, thanks for that. We'll cover this for you."
Oh yeah. Not a big deal.
All right, guys, let's get into a debate here. We've been talking about some superstars, LeBron. These are, pretty much we know first ballot Hall of Famers. A debate we've had off camera a little bit is like, how many people are actually playing right now that are we not appreciating that are first ballot Hall of Famers if they retire today? They break their leg today. They pull an Alex Smith. I know you think he's still coming back, Jordan, but no, he's not.
No, he's cleared. He's good.
Yeah,
they love him. He's fighting for the first string job.
Cleared to play too. It doesn't mean I'm going to be starting for the New York Football
You
Giants.
are not cleared to play.
Debatable.
He's got hernias, bro. He ain't playing.
It's true. But after my surgery in a few weeks, I'm going to be ready to go, guys. You don't even know.
Yeah. Hashtag Josh Gordon.
Exactly. Me, Josh Gordon. I'll take an 8-game suspension with AB. We'll both be ready to go week 9. Jonathan, what sport you want to start with here? We talk some Hall of Famers that are currently playing right now. That if they retired today, there's a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famers.
I mean, we can start with the NFL because there's so many obvious ones like Brady, the Breeze, the Russell Wilsons. Those are obvious ones. So like, why don't we just kind of maybe see people who you wouldn't really expect?
So who are all your quarterbacks right now? If they retired today, who would be in the Hall of Fame? Give me all your quarterbacks today that would be in the Hall of Fame. If they retired right now, never threw another pass.
Brady, Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many. Like,
There's not many more than that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No. Yeah. I'm just
is.
waiting for names that you shouldn't say.
Yeah, I mean, you hit everyone right now.
What do you do about Joe Flacco?
No.
You don't think he belongs?
He's not a third, fourth, or fifth time around quarterback going in. No way.
Mm-mm.
Well, out of the quarterbacks, yeah, then that's all I have right now.
There's only one other, there's another quarterback. He just happened to retire last year. That's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You better not say Eli Manning, I swear to God.
Oh,
What? Of course he's going.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Like, no doubt. His resume speaks for itself. It's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Clax.
Yeah.
NFL. So, Jonathan, any other, like, standout guys that just popped to your mind where you're like, first ballot?
Well, I mean, I think just ones that you don't like, that are like obvious, but you don't really think about. Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah.
I think even on the Cardinals, Chandler Jones. I think.
Now, I don't know if he retired today. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so. He's carried so many defenses, dude. I think absolutely.
First ballot.
Travis Kelce is up there too. I think too as well.
I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer today. I mean, you're talking about defensive guys. I mean, what about like a Terrell Suggs? Like, you want to talk about people with a resume? That's a resume right there. Chandler Jones doesn't have that resume yet, I don't think.
Von Miller. I think Von Miller would go.
Von Miller? I'm okay with Von Miller. If he retired today, his resume with his Super Bowl MVP, I could back up Von Miller. Jordan, who do you got for NFL? Any you want to throw in there? Definite first ballot? Absolutely.
Well, because I'm a very unbiased.
Do you want to go offense over defense first? Do you want to give me some offense and then, or do you want?
I was going to go defense actually. Okay. He's still, the number one linebacker in the league. Bobby Wagner. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer to me.
Wait, to you, Mr. Seattle Seahawks, or Mr. Objective, all fired up sports host? Just curious.
Extremely objective. He has 4+ seasons where wow. First episode ever. Nice, thanks. I pride myself on not being that guy. Anyways,
no. You had a temporary one. It was only there for a second, and then the homer popped away. It was just there temporary.
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna ignore my Sherman talk. Then I'm not gonna mention that name, even though that's a given. But Adrian Peterson.
100% first ballot. Absolutely.
Adrian Peterson.
What about the other running back on the Jets?
No.
Frank Gore?
Le'Veon Bell?
No.
Frank Gore.
See,
does he get it for longevity, or is he one of those players that's going to get in down the road but not a first ballot?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought about it because the man. I mean, he had he tore both ACLs and one of them twice.
Yeah, and he's still the third most yards.
That's disgusting. Yeah. It's crazy, John. You took that away from me. I was gonna say Chandler Jones too. His production is just insane, and the consistency of that, I would easily say that because you obviously think about J.J. Watt, but the man is so hurt. Like talent-wise, you're like, oh, definitely. But when you see the numbers, it's just so staggered because he's hurt.
Yeah, but
that's why I look at Chandler Jones. But J.J. Watt, he's more consistent.
I would take J.J. Watt's career over Chandler Jones' career.
I mean, Chandler Jones is still going, and
that's the thing. Chandler Jones. I'm saying Chandler Jones has the potential, if not will be, but I don't know if he is today.
I mean,
he doesn't have more sacks than J.J. Watt. Are you sure?
I don't know for sure. I'll have to.
I think
I'm pretty positive he is.
John, look that up for us.
And the output he's put out, I think I definitely agree.
John, did you mention Aaron Rodgers when you mentioned quarterbacks?
No, but he should be in there as well.
Don't. Julio, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Julio Jones.
Yes.
Rob Gronkowski.
100%.
Yes.
Now, see, that's a tight. Hold on, Clax, can I stop you there? John,
yes.
That's a tight end that has a Hall of Fame resume in the Tony Gonzalez realm. The things. Travis Kelce right now is, don't take this the wrong way, a little ahead of where Jeremy Shockey was at the end of his career. Now, Travis Kelce's going to surpass him completely in the next year or two, but he's not there yet. He's not like a top 10 tight end of all time. Gronkowski's a top 3 probably at least. Okay, keep going, Clax.
And I'm going and Richard Sherman.
Thank you. I didn't want to say it.
Well, see, you mentioned Wagner, and funny you didn't say Earl Thomas.
Richard Sherman. No, I'm going to give you a sleeper. Now, this is somebody that's still playing. This is somebody that has plenty of playing left. but Michael Thomas.
Not today. Not today.
And no ring.
He's not there yet. I mean, he's not there
But
yet.
he's gonna be.
I need rings.
Okay.
I mean, he's gonna be. Yes, there's a lot of gonna
But
be.
last but not least,
Don't say Phillip Rivers.
Antonio Brown.
If he was in the NFL,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. He's getting my vote.
Antonio Brown.
I got a question. What about this guy? And I guess he'd be more of like maybe, I don't know if he'd be considered like even special teams or jack of all trades type of guy. Not a first ballot, but what about like Darren Sproles?
No.
Oh,
Someone that does something like what about Marshawn Lynch?
Yes. Yes.
What Jason Witten, Hall of Famer.
first
don't
ballot.
like- I mean, the
He's
resume.
like second, man. I need rings.
I got one. LaShawn McCoy.
Nope.
No.
He bailed out too quick. You know who's close though? If he were one more good year, Aaron Donald. One more good year.
Okay.
What about what's
Geno
that?
Atkins. Quietly putting together a resume at D tackle in Cincinnati. I don't know.
Do kickers ever get
Oh,
any
yeah. Adam Vinatieri.
Vinatieri? Yeah.
What about Ndamukong Suh?
No.
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 Oh, career sacks for J.J. Watt, 96. Career sacks for Chandler Jones, 96.
Oh, Chandler Jones then. Easy.
You can't really argue that. And Chandler Jones has done it in less years, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I would think.
Actually, or has he? Because then, my man's been injured all the time.
What about Patrick Peterson?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he's done enough for. I don't even know overall. Not even just first ballot with him.
All right. Well, that covers a lot of football. I mean, it's obviously a big sport. We can probably keep going even with some more if you want to get some offensive linemen that I'm sure are old and first ballot at this point. What about baseball? It's a little bit more of a difficult journey to get into the Hall of Fame in baseball. They only do 2 to 4 usually a year that get into the sport. They're very picky about certain things. I put together a list of, let me see how many I got here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9 first ballot Hall of Famers playing right now in major leagues with 3 that are borderline. What do you guys have? Who wants to go first? Joey Clax? You're like, no, I don't want to go first.
I don't want to go first.
You don't have to go first. You want me to go first?
You go first.
One of you boys. You want me to go first? All right.
Yeah, I want you to go first.
I got 2 teammates I'm going to start off with.
I bet I know who those are.
Who are they, John?
Mike Trout and Albert Pujols.
100%. Albert Pujols is the greatest living player right now of longevity of what he's done. Mike Trout is just the greatest living player in general. So those 2 are without a doubt retired today. Mike Trout is a first ballot Hall of Famer with 3 MVPs, 3 runner-ups, every home run, batting average. He's led the league in everything, 40s plus stolen bases, and Pujols is about to catch up to Willie Mays, and he's a 300-plus hitter. So we know.
Okay. That's a givens.
I got 2 former teammates, Miguel Cabrera and Justin Verlander. First ballot, without a doubt. I see some shaking heads over there. Jordan, you got an issue with one of those guys?
No, we have the same list. I'm like, wow.
Okay. Okay. John, you got a problem with either one of those guys?
No, as much as I hate Justin Hypocrisy Verlander,
Really?
he does belong there.
He has 2 rings, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not great. I'm just saying he's a hypocrite.
And rumor has it they didn't bang cans when he was pitching. Just saying. So I got those 2 guys. Then my next one is going to be Jonathan Clayton Kershaw. His resume speaks for itself. We'll pretend the playoffs don't happen for him to make Jonathan happy right now. But generally they go by regular season stats a lot of times for the Hall of Fame. Some guys make it only because of their playoff stats. I think a guy like Andy Pettitte should personally be in the Hall of Fame. I hated him while he pitched, but look at his playoff resume. He's the opposite of a Clayton Kershaw. The dude would decide to pitch whatever, a little over 500 or better during the regular season, And then he becomes a lights out, 80% winning percentage in the playoffs, strikeout to walk ratio 9-1. He's just one of those guys. Believe it or not, that's not even the end of my Yankees praise before the end of this show. But that's going to be for my final thought. Disgusting. Yankees, Mets, just backwards. All right. Another pitcher. I'm going to actually put 2 more pitchers up there, both in the same division. Max Scherzer, multiple-time Cy Young winner. Pitched into the World Series, pitching into his late 30s. He's a bulldog. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Next one, I'm waiting for some hate. Jacob deGrom. I think he's done enough. I think this year is the year that's going to solidify it. If he could come through with either a 3rd Cy Young in this weird season, or even his ERA is 1.6 again. I mean, it's just silly. And they're saying he's off this year somehow. So deGrom's a Hall of Famer if he retires today. Then my last 2 are both catchers. Catchers don't get in the Hall of Fame very easily at this point. I don't know. I think the last one was Piazza.
I bet I can guess these 2 too for you.
I hope so. They're first ballot Hall of Famers. Go for it, John.
Buster Posey and Yadier Molina.
Absolutely. Best offensive catcher of the last 15 years. Best defensive catcher of the last 15 years. Both have multiple rings. Which I know Jordan likes.
Hey.
Buster Posey's got 3, and he's got, I believe, at least 1 MVP in the World Series. Yachty put up big numbers in the playoffs. He's one of those clutch players, unlike certain pitchers in the Dodgers. It's just one of those things that, to me, that's the list. That's my list. I've got 9 guys that are first ballot. I've got 3 guys that are teetering, but I don't think I put them first ballot, but they're Hall of Famers.
So where do you fall? I know he's fallen off a lot, but Madison Bumgarner, if you're putting Buster in there, where does he line up with you?
Madison Bumgarner's on he needs 2 more good years or 1 more amazing postseason. He hasn't done enough. He's only 30 years old. People forget he's a young guy, but he's relatively old in baseball years. He's hurt a lot. I think he's a borderline, but he's not a first ballot. Guys that are close, I think Zach Greinke's had his numbers will double everything that Bumgarner's done, but I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. I'm still I feel like he is, but I don't know. And if I don't know, he's not first ballot. Robinson Cano is another guy. The steroids thing is going to hurt him, but I mean, he is a top 5 offensive second baseman of all time. Historic run with the Yankees. When you can go down as a top 2 or 3 person at a position for the New York Yankees, you've probably done something pretty well in your career. I can't think of 3 second basemen that were better for the Yankees. Clax, can you?
No.
I mean, it's a tough position in New York, but I mean, there's not been many second base. Willie Randolph better? I don't think so.
No, he's been.
Donald?
I mean, I love Chucky, but you're not going to name 3 that were better.
That's what I'm saying, and that's in 100 years of Yankees history. So that guy's got to be pretty close to a Hall of Famer. And then the other one is Joey Votto. Well over 300, 10-time All-Star plus. The guy's a hitting machine. He's starting to fall off with the power now. I'm not convinced 100%, but he's borderline to me. So I'd say he's a Hall of Famer, but not first ballot. That's my list.
I got 2.
2 more to add?
Yeah. Goldschmidt.
I have him as a borderline. I watched him a lot out here, and I think he's very underrated.
And I like everything on your list, but I'm gonna add Chapman.
Well, I had him on my borderline list.
It's not borderline for me. He's got the rings to prove it, and you don't have any closers on your list.
I don't have any closers. I had Kimbrel's another one that I think is borderline Hall of Famer for closers. He's awful this year, but his career numbers are pretty nasty. And you know what? I think Chapman has 2 or 3 solid more years in him too. And I think that's what's going to put him over the top for sure.
Hopefully, but those years with the Cubs, it was just
closers don't get first ballot too often.
What?
Rivera did. Did Trevor Hoffman? He might have gotten it too.
I think Hoffman did.
But it's one of those tough things. But Chapman, I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer just for what he brought to the table. Throwing 105.
Exactly, dude. Even with what he did with the Reds,
That's what I'm talking about, yeah. It was just an instant impact.
Yeah.
Jordan, do you have anybody you want to add?
I do not. It's kind of a salty subject for me, given my Mariners are so young, and
Kyle Lewis.
it's kind of tough to hear that. But at the same time, though, I gotta say something about your list. We had a very similar list, but me personally, this is some bias talking. I don't really like Kershaw, man. He just reminds me of Peyton Manning. You know, awesome player, great stats, but then when it really matters, it's like, what are we? Come on,
Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a Hall of Famer to you?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't like.
That's what you're implying.
I'm just saying I don't like them. I prefer you to be good when it matters.
Like
That's when it matters.
So you're talking about like his brother Eli Manning.
That's what I'm exactly.
The better man.
Eli, you put Eli and Peyton next to each other. Like Eli does not. I don't even know what he's doing in the regular season, but when it's game time, postseason, it works. It works.
I agree.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
What do you think? You know, I always had this theory that they should have had a team with Peyton as the regular season quarterback and you bring in Eli for the playoffs and they could just win tons of championships. But that was just me.
Endless. So that's just. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. Like I get it. Kershaw is a great player. I get it, but it's just. I can't look at you the same way if you don't do it when it matters.
And it's crazy because like I've been reaching out to Kershaw's agent. He doesn't want to come on our show for some reason. I can't figure out why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's just honesty. John, did we leave anybody out for you?
No, I pretty much everybody on your list was somebody on my list.
That's it. They make life pretty easy. My list for the NBA was kind of short too. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 players right now. I don't want to go first though. John, I want you to go first. Who do you have for some NBA Hall of Famers? First, we got LeBron. Okay.
LeBron's obvious. I think Kevin Durant belongs in there. I think Carmelo Anthony does. If James Harden, I mean, a lot of obvious guys, I think, that are going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Those are all first ballot to me.
What about Chris Paul?
Oh, he took it.
He wasn't in my consideration. I mean, I'm not going to argue against it because I don't.
I'll put him in your consideration.
Okay, I'll consider it.
What about Steph Curry?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That guy's okay. Russell Westbrook?
I don't know enough about his career, but I'm assuming based on Jordan's reaction that yes, I will put him in there.
Jordan, I got one for you. Dwight Howard. First ballot.
No, not first ballot.
Wrong. He's
not
wrong.
First ballot.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah?
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
first.
Yes.
That
was the only one. That was one of the only ones on my list for NBA.
Yeah, I just named my entire list. That's all 9. Westbrook, Howard, Harden, Paul, Curry, Durant, LeBron, Carmelo. Today, if they retired. I've got my close list. AD is getting close. Pau Gasol is borderline. I don't know if he's first ballot, but
Pau or Mark?
Definitely not Mark, but Pau is here. You know what? Jordan, you're right. Pau Gasol he's borderline for me, but I'm going to put him he's a Kobe Chan. I'm going to put
I love this.
Okay.
Rings.
I love this.
Here's one that's not, though. Don't hate on me. Vince Carter, not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
That's
well, you know what? We got to talk about this. We got to talk about this though, because this basketball is very, very different than all the sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because basketball, you're a Hall of Famer, and that includes every style of the game, whether it's college, whether it's the NBA, whether it's Olympics. So all of those accolades have to do with implications. Therefore, I got to put Vincent first ballot. Only because if we're talking specifically NBA, but the second
not Dwight Howard.
No.
You know Dwight Howard's stats too, right?
I do. I look at him differently. The way he just got smacked up in the 2009 finals.
Wait, but you're gonna one playoff year takes away a whole guy's career?
No.
Obviously, we know he feels that way because he said Kershaw doesn't.
I mean, the guy. How many Defensive Player of the Year awards does he have? Three?
That's pretty good.
3-time. He's been all NBA defense 5 times.
And he might be the 5th man of the year for the champs this year or so.
Did he ever get his degree at North Carolina and put up 50 against AI
In the playoffs?
same week?
No, I don't believe this guy had. He didn't go to college, from what I'm aware of.
With his beliefs, I definitely think that he probably didn't get much schooling.
Did he jump over a 7'2" European man in the Olympics?
Frederick Weiss, Knicks first-round pick. Yeah, he did.
Oh
That was the number 6 overall pick by the Knicks that year. That was a great pick. Never came to the NBA.
361 mil the wrong way.
Yeah, listen. There's no one who loves. Dude, he put his elbow into a. You don't got to tell me. I got it. You know who's close, but they're not there yet? Clay and Draymond. They got one more run with
That's frustrating. You're so right.
They have one more. Think about it. They're going to have another run, though, of 2 or 3 solid years, and that's going to put them both in my
I'd say like 4 if their contracts allow them.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying, but all they need is 2 more. Like, Clay puts up 2 more amazing years. That's it. I mean, he's a first ballot. And Draymond is the glue guy. He's the Rodman style. That's like, he's going to get in for all the other things he does on the floor, you know? And I think he gets himself 5 rings, 6 rings.
So just to be clear, you're saying that Clay and Draymond aren't first ballot yet,
right?
But they're going to go regardless, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, unless they never come back and play again, then I think it's borderline. But if they come back and play a couple more seasons, which I'm sure they're going to, then I don't foresee how they're not. Just like Steph Curry, I don't foresee how he's not going to keep putting up records and records and records. They're going to get the number 1 overall pick or top 3 pick. They're going to get a stud plus a free agent. It's going to be nuts. The Warriors are going to dynasties back. Clax.
Yeah.
I'm ready for your final thought.
I hope you're able to hear this. I had a final thought, but I'm gonna just go. I hope this is.
I hear it.
Some montage of Peyton Manning. That's my final thought.
Jonathan, you got any final thoughts?
The Astros continue to be bitches, and I'm glad they're just showing it to the world continually, and I hope they continue to crash and burn.
What place are they in?
4th, I think. 3rd or 4th.
Burning. Jordan, what's your final thought today?
My final thought for today, I can't stop thinking about Omaha now, honestly.
I want a steak.
Like, can we talk about that last season? How he literally, they handed him the ring because my man Cam Newton was not trying to die for a fumble and, for his future, not realizing that, futures aren't guaranteed Super Bowls like Peyton Manning.
I'm not a Peyton fan, so I mean, I'm there. I just know how much he loves him.
Team Eli all the way. You know that for life.
My man Peyton Manning is the king of,
commercial
check down runs and finding the best hole for his running back.
He's the king of retirement commercials, that guy.
Yes, he is the king of retirement commercials.
I do like his retirement career. I do enjoy that. I'll give that.
All right, you ready for this final thought here? John, this is going to be a little for you. It's going to be a little bit for Clax. So you like to talk about the Astros. Of course, you brought him up. What's the name of the hitting coach?
Cintron.
Yeah. That guy's a bitch. We're talking about bitches on this episode a lot. And that guy's a bitch. But you want to know who's not a bitch? Are coaches that come out to fight. And they fight for real. And they fight like Don Zimmer fought. And you know what? Don Zimmer came out, said, Pedro, you want to talk smack? Let's go. And that 80-year-old dude came running out of the dugout, and Pedro took him down.
Pedro's a bitch.
Pedro took him down.
I loved it. Look
at Don Zimmer, Popeye.
No mercy, Pedro. No mercy, Pedro.
Pedro was a bitch.
And
No mercy, Pedro.
nobody loves Pedro like I love Pedro. Everyone knows that.
Right.
I love me some Pedro. But
Yeah.
I
The old
also
lane.
want to make clear of my absolute favorite Yankee from 1996 to 2001. They had Darryl Strawberry and they had Doc Gooden on those squads. So, of course, those are my two favorite players. But favorite human being that wore the pinstripes in the last 50 years, by far, is Don Zimmer. He gets very little credit outside of New York City for the masterpiece that he put together in those playoff runs. It wasn't Joe Torre. It was Don Zimmer. He was the brains behind all of it. As soon as he left, they never won again with Joe Torre. Joe Torre sucked. Joe Torre never won for 40 years until Don Zimmer became his bench coach. I just want to make that clear. He sucked with the Mets. He sucked with the Cardinals. He sucked with everyone he went. Don Zimmer went to the Cubs and had a playoff run in the 80s. The Cubs, when they were garbage with Ryan Sandberg and Sean Dunston. So, you know what? My ode to Don Zimmer today. That's what it is. Rest in peace, Popeye. The greatest Yankee, and I get a Pedro up there at the same time. That's it. The Yankee props, because the Mets suck. And I don't want to talk about the Mets. I don't want to talk about Stroman or Thor or Cespedes or Brody Van. You suck GMing. All of them. I don't want to talk about any of them. I don't want to talk about the Knicks. I'll only talk about Carmelo Anthony, the only person worth talking about that ever wore a Knicks uniform in the last 15 years, and that's the end of my rant right there. Sorry, fellas. Got me riled up. I didn't think I was going to happen right there, but it happened. All right. Well, the show's called All Fired Up. I mean, might as well end it all fired up. Check us out. Instagram, All Fired Up with some underscores in between. We're on the Facebook. We're on the Spotify, the Apple Music, clackattack.com. Go to all of it. Hashtag Where's Jeffrey Chow. There's so many things going on. We are a top shelf show. Don't you ever forget that. But we are not on a top shelf network. That is to be clear again. We are all fired up. Thank you for listening. We will see you soon. Bye!